His and Her show with Jody
and Alex Misiak.
And today we're going to talk about feeling like a failure. You know, maybe in your life you feel something, maybe you feel like a failure. Maybe you don't. But anyways.
Yeah, so I think everyone's probably felt like one at one point or another in their life. I know I have. But there's failing at something, and then there's feeling like a failure. And the act of failing at something and the feelings associated with that, they are something that you have to keep separate. Like if something doesn't go the way that you would expect, or something you were involved in, or something you felt responsible for, didn't turn out the way you wanted, it wasn't a success, it was a failure. That just means, again, these are just words, and we've talked about how words have taken on different meanings in different contexts over the years. But a failure is just not a successful result. So if it's, I'm trying to think of a good example. Okay, you try a new recipe and follow the instructions, do the best you can, no mistakes that you can think of, and you try it and you're like, yuck, this is gross, I don't like this. That's a failure, right? I tried something new, I did everything I was supposed to do, but it's a failure. And that's not necessarily, and that doesn't mean that you're a failure as a cook. It's
definitely not a reflection of you because you followed somebody else's recipe.
Yes, and I think that's easy. Hopefully, that's easy enough for most people to go, okay, well, if it didn't turn out right, or it didn't look right, or doesn't taste good, that's not. But that's me.
But it's actually, I love your example. At first, I'm like, oh, I'm not sure about this one, but I love your example because it shows how much it's not. You followed step by step the directions, you did your best. And then it's just that you didn't like the recipe. It turned out and you're like, oh, that's not, like, we've made so many foods that we're like, wow, we had to like switch it up. Like it was a foundation for a recipe, but we needed to add our own seasoning to make it better or whatever. However, we can see that or you can take yourself away from that failure though. You don't put that on you.
Dissociate yourself from it, yeah.
But somewhere else in your life, other things can happen. And we blame ourselves.
Absolutely. Maybe your finances got out of hand, or maybe I'm trying to think of another one. Oh, maybe a new like your exercise routine, or again, we talked about taking back the word diet, but like maybe the new diet or lifestyle change that you have taken on, they're not producing the results that you want, and that might feel more personal because it's more about you, and you're like, well, what's wrong with me? And the answer is there's nothing wrong with you. There's not, like, you're not the failure, like, and to feel like you are a failure, it doesn't serve you, it doesn't help, and so yeah, the biggest thing is, if you feel like a failure, the first step, I think, is to try and dissociate yourself from the failure itself, what failed, what went wrong, and yourself. Because it's not all on you. It's not always something that you can control. And even if you think you've got everything under control, you probably don't.
So here's the fun thing. I'm pretty sure we've covered this in a different episode before. No one's perfect.
Yes.
If you're striving for perfection, you will never get there because no one is perfect. We all have our own ideas of what's right, what's wrong, what's perfect, what's not perfect. Even colors. One person might call one thing versus another.
We do green and blue a lot. Like there's different shades of green and blue. You're like, that's blue. And
we all have our own perspectives.
Yes.
And if you're feeling like a failure in any of your area of your life, it's not because of that you feel like a failure. It stems so much deeper.
Yes.
Beliefs that you were brought up as a child, that you've taken on that aren't your own. Ideas of what things should look like or who you need to be. Maybe you're spending your time trying to be somebody you're not. And then you feel like a failure because you're trying to be this person that isn't who you are.
Right. Yep.
And then you're like tied in between, oh, I need to be like this. And then you're never going to be that because that's not who you are, but you feel like you have to be this person. And it's like, why do you have to be this person? Because, you know, when you were brought up, or when you were a child, you were brought up, or, and, you know, maybe you've heard sayings like, you know, girls don't do this, or girls have to do this, or men can't cry. That's a big one. And we've been told all this BS about what we should be doing. And that's where
who we should be.
Yes, who we should be, what we should be doing.
Act.
Yes. And that is where it comes down to. So if you're feeling like a failure in your life, it's not that you're not trying, or maybe you aren't, and you're just sick of failing. Right. Feeling like a failure that you just gave up on yourself. Mm-hmm. And it's not that it's not that you're failing. It's just that maybe you're trying to be something you're not. Trying to do something you're not
meant to be doing. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I can definitely see that. And it does come to expectations. Where are these expectations coming from? Right.
We put a lot of expectations on ourselves.
We do.
You know, what does a good parent look like? A good mother. I hear this word too often is mommy guilt. And one of these conversations we'll have a conversation around this because it's parent guilt. Not just moms feel this.
Right.
You've felt it too. And it really comes down to we put these expectations on ourselves of what perfect looks like, or who we should be, or how to be, and how to act. And yeah.
And there's definitely expectations put on us by society and by, you know, maybe the people we work with, or the job that we have to do. Like there's certain expectations of me in my day-to-day work, right? And those aren't unfair expectations, but being able to separate the unfair expectations from the fair expectations, I think that's where a lot of people fall down.
Let's go with the job then. So you start a job, you should already know what your expectations are when you start the job.
Should, yes.
So, and if you're not clear, then you have those conversations with people.
Yes, that's key.
You have conversations there's a fine line when you're involving other people or expectations. Like a job is a really hard one to have that with. You are involved with other people.
Yes, that's true.
And I guess I guess almost everything in our life involves some kind of person. And when it does involve people, is you have to have conversations. Like for me, if I was feeling like a failure as a wife, like, oh man, you know, I didn't get the kitchen cleaned, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I'm putting that all on me. You didn't tell me I was failing as a wife or a mom. Like, oh man, like I forgot my kid's sweater, whatever it may be, is I put that on myself. If the other person said, oh hun, like you didn't do the kitchen, like that sucks, or that's a different conversation. But any beliefs that I didn't live up to my expectations are all on me. If I don't, you know, like it's all my thoughts.
Right.
You didn't come to me and say, like that's just a very loose example, but
even if I did, what I say,
I mean, you clean the kitchen.
Yeah, there's that. But I mean, what I say, it shouldn't. Hopefully, it's not about like. So okay, you let's go run with this example. You failed to clean the kitchen. If you then internalize, let's
not use the word fail, and like if I just didn't clean the kitchen,
just didn't clean the kitchen, but I'm just trying to tie it back to the word failure. But if I said something along those lines, and you then felt like a failure, that is bad for me to say something in a certain way. But I can't make you feel like a failure. That's what I'm trying to say.
But then that's where you have a conversation, right? Like there's two steps to this. Let's back this up a little bit. So let's keep on with this dishes thing, because the dishes are always piled up in our kitchen because we're constantly cooking, and we cook everything from
food.
we cook from scratch. So it's always a mess. Except for today, I think it's actually pretty clean. Anyways, so say I wanted to have XYZ. Like I want to clean the kitchen and I want to do this. And I had that plan. And then I didn't get it done at the end of the day. I could just be like, okay, I didn't get it done. Or I could be like, oh man, I suck as a wife. Like I'm not, picking up the slack.
Right.
And like, there's two choices there. You get to feel like, okay, like I'll figure out how to make this work next time, or ask for help. Or I could feel crappy that I didn't accomplish it.
Yeah.
That's on me. However, let's say you walk and be like, oh, hun, man, like, why didn't you clean the kitchen today? Or like,
yeah,
whatever.
Let's go with that one. Yeah, let's go with that.
Because that's pretty much where like anyways, it's pretty loose. Like,
yeah, that doesn't happen. But for the purposes of this podcast, let's.
I can't even imagine what husbands would say to a wife that doesn't clean a kitchen, because it's like, oh, I didn't clean it. Okay, I'll figure out how. Or we just work as a team, and that's just how we do it. Anyways, so you come to me, and then I'm like, well, I can either feel like he's picking on me, like you're picking on me for not cleaning it up. I could feel then again if like a failure. Mm-hmm. And like you said, though, it's on me. Your words, yes, they have some meaning because we're married and we're in a relationship, and I would love the support and the love. However, if I'm in that place of empowerment, loving who I am, and just know that I'm worthy enough, I'll just be like, well, that's, that's life. I didn't get it done today. Oh, well, you clean it. Like, if you have the time or you want it clean, then you can clean it.
Yeah,
and like, obviously say it in a loving way, but I would just be like, you know what? I'm sorry my day got away from me, and that's life. And, or I could feel like crap. That you're like, I'm sucking as a wife. Like there's always you have at least two choices throughout your whole day to take on the fact of feeling like you failed, that you're not worthy enough, that you're not good enough, that you suck. Or you can look at it and be like, well, that's just how it is today. But it doesn't have to be life forever. Like I can figure out how to change this, like, and take on like, okay, yeah, so I didn't get the kitchen done clean today. How can I change that for future reference? And of course, like fill in the blank to anything it is. Like we just pick the kitchen for fun.
But this kind of conversation has happened for me in various places of employment with, different kinds of success, like where the expectations aren't being met by, and I had two choices. I could feel like, okay, I'm not meeting expectations. How can I change to meet those expectations? Or, and this has happened a lot in the past, I could feel really bad and as a failure. And at that point, when you feel like that, it's a lot harder to move out of that. Like it's sort of like a suck spiral?
No. Oh, I like that though. Suck mode.
Suck mode, yeah. But it's become, it's a suck spiral into suck mode, and then in suck mode, I can't do anything. Like I'm paralyzed by my own failings and feelings, and that ultimately doesn't serve me.
That will be another whole conversation that we can do at some point. I also offer a free guide for this because a quick definition of what my word of suck mode is, because I don't think it's in the dictionary, is suck mode is when you're having a crappy day or something just kind of puts you into this mood, and then the more you look at life, everything just sucks. And then you just look, it's like, oh, I suck. And then it just suck. And like everywhere you look, and then you look on Facebook and you feel like, oh, why is their life better than mine? I suck. And it's really hard to get out of there if you don't know the easy steps to move forward.
Right. And we will touch on that, but it does come down into like, that's failing versus feeling like a failure. Mm-hmm. And, I think I've grown a little bit, thanks mostly in part to you. Oh,
you grew a lot, hun.
All right, I grew a lot, thanks mostly in part to you. About like how to change my attitude and be like, okay, I need to disassociate myself from where I'm failing and not consider it like I'm a failure. It's like I've got something to learn. Mm-hmm. Instead of looking at my failures as like just things I can never change or things that I don't like about myself, it's looking at them instead and going, what can I take away from this? How can I learn? How can I improve? Mm-hmm. And that has helped tremendously with a lot of things in a lot of areas of my life. So that's what I guess that's what I'm trying to tell our listeners today is, there's a difference between failing and feeling like a failure. And, instead of feeling like a failure, look at it and go, okay, what can I learn from this?
I love that.
Right? It's like,
yes. And again, I'm going to say this one more time. It comes down to two things. And you can look at it as a way to learn and grow, or you can just let your emotions overrun your life.
yeah,
And I say this with love because I know how hard it can be to get a handle on your emotions. But it's understanding that that's all it is an emotion, emotions running the show, and beliefs and thoughts about that you've kind of really taken on from your childhood or throughout life. So, you can choose to take that and see it as a life lesson and a way to grow, or you can, get into suck mode.
You can stay stuck, and
Yeah.
you don't want to stay stuck. And I'm not saying you should bury your emotions. Definitely when I've messed something up or I failed at something, I definitely feel it, and I should feel it, but then I gotta let go and move on.
That's going to be a whole other conversation. Yeah. I actually have it ready. Like, we're going to do it in a couple weeks, I think, or in a week. Awesome. I can't remember, but we're going to talk, because that's a whole other conversation.
It is, yeah. Most of the stuff is like, it all sort of relates back to each other. So that's good to know. The takeaway, hopefully, for the listeners is don't look at don't take your failures personally. Don't look at yourself as a failure. Instead, you can feel the sadness or whatever, lower emotions about that failure, and then you can turn around and go, what can I learn from this, and how can I move forward?
And give yourself a nice big hug.
Yes, be gentle, be help, or
find
someone.
Yeah,
find someone to give you a big hug.
Yeah, that's true too. But sometimes, like, giving ourselves a hug is pretty awesome, because we need our own love too.
Yes, you're right.
And part of it might just be a little lack of some love for yourself as well. Mm-hmm. So just like give yourself a hug to boost your self-love as well.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
And just take it one day at a time. Like you said, it's been a journey for both of us.
Yeah, and we're still going.
Yeah, so
still learning.
Exactly. So just be gentle and kind to yourself, and just know that everything that goes on to your life is really just there to build and grow, and help you become the person that you've always meant to be. Yes. You are not a failure. You are growing. You are learning. You're flourishing. You are flourishing. Yes. You're not failing. You're flourishing. That's right. I don't know if that works, but we're keeping it. It sounds nice. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Well, we hope you have a beautiful day. Bye for now.